Started? You're running now, huh? Okay, fine.
In 1966, Francois Truffaut published a series of in-depth conversations with Alfred Hitchcock about his entire body of work. Truffaut, half Hitchcock's age, was already an internationally renowned filmmaker, and he wanted to free Hitchcock from his reputation as a light entertainer.
It conclusively changed people's opinions about Hitchcock.
It was a director talking about his own work in a way that was utterly unpretentious.
You know, they were talking about the craft.
7 days.
Ça durait 7 jours.
70 setups, and I shot some of it in slow motion.
Where it sort of lays out all of the cutting pattern, contextualizing what the work of a director truly is.
You know, I had a paperback. It's not even a book anymore. It's like a stack of papers.
This week's studio offering, In the Heart of the Sea, unintentionally proves what can go awry with movie making. Gifted director Ron Howard strains for the epic and winds up delivering an only mildly entertaining movie. He aimed for a well of a tale and kind of delivered a minnow. But for those willing to go wherever the best film is opening, there's a documentary as enjoyable as it is elegant and erudite. Okay, sure, Hitchcock Truffaut is a film buff's delight. But I promise you, there's plenty in director Kent Jones's documentary about the book that came out of Francois Truffaut's pilgrimage to Hollywood to talk with Alfred Hitchcock about each of his films. Visually sly and nimble, there's much here to tease and please the savvy generalist among you.
The Truffaut-Hitchcock book was really revolutionary. We became radicalized as movie makers. It was almost as if somebody had taken a weight off our shoulders and said, yes, we can embrace this, we could go.
I have a favorite little saying to myself: logic is dull.
This is somebody whose mind is racing, filled with ideas. That's why we refer to him all the time.
He's making floors out of glass so he can show the apartment above. Things that make cinema magic.
I'm never satisfied with the ordinary. I've tried to play the audience like an organ.
You know, there are certain rules, and he destroyed all those rules.
I am interested in the audience. Obviously, they're going to sit there and say, show me. I know what's coming next. I have to say, do you?
As you can see, Jones, a critic, historian, and filmmaker, has gathered some mighty fine talking heads to chime in on Alfred Hitchcock's genius and influence. There's David Fincher and Wes Anderson, Olivier Assayas and Kiyoshi Kurosawa, and sort of bringing up the old guard is Paul Schrader and Peter Bogdanovich, all remarkable directors to a man, which hints at one of the vaguely nagging frustrations I've had with the movie since first seeing it at the Telluride Film Festival in late summer. But more on that later. In between fantastic archival treats and film clips, the filmmakers offered their insights, some more interesting than others. And Jones does some clever and subtle commentary of his own via editing. For instance, in an audio snippet from The Interviews, which Truffaut conducted in 1963, Hitchcock likens actors to cattle. Nope, the director didn't put much stock in the stars yammering on about method and motivation, etc. But right after that, Jones cuts away to David Fincher. The director of The Social Network and Gone Girl is rather notorious for the toll he's taken with his unrelenting takes on his actors. As if to wink one more time, Jones then has director Richard Linklater weigh in. The maker of the Before trilogy and Boyhood is known for his collaborations with actors. That's smart and nimble filmmaking. And geez, you know what? The archival footage is more than worth the price of the ticket. Still, for my money, it's Martin Scorsese who offers the most compelling and sage remarks, not just about the meaning of that book at the time it was first published, but also the uncanny and deliberate authority Hitchcock exercised with film as art/entertainment.
At that time, the general consensus and climate was a bullying, as usual, by the establishment as to what serious cinema is. So it was really revolutionary. Based on what the Truffaut-Hitchcock book was, we became radicalized as movie makers. It was almost as if somebody had taken a weight off our shoulders and said, yes, we can embrace this, we could go.
So about that nagging frustration. Hitchcock's work is so freighted when it comes to gender, it seemed like a missed opportunity to not have a female representative amid the talking heads. I know that sounds like some kind of tisk-tisking, and there's some terrifically rich material about desire, obsession, fetish on the section about vertigo, which is arguably the filmocracy's most lauded Hitchcock film. But I ached for another voice just the same. But then I actually watched the movie again. It's clear Jones intentionally relied on directors to provide commentary about one of the greats, one of their own. Okay, while I'm not absolutely willing to let the film, so very good in so many ways, off the hook, that absence might actually say more about the club's much pointed out exclusivity, i.e. the industry, than it reflects a blind spot on Jones's part.